Reinforcement in the elementary classroom. What is reinforcement? Reinforcement is the way in which we encourage or discourage specific behavior. Encouraging a specific behavior is commonly known as positive reinforcement. On the other hand, discouraging a particular behavior is also known as negative reinforcement. There are many ways in which we can reinforce behavior. But in the classroom, it is very important for teachers to decide for themselves whether negative or positive reinforcement will be used in their classroom. They also have to decide what is more beneficial for their students. Here is an appropriate scenario of reinforcement in the classroom. As the bell rang for the end of the day, students went crazy and they were not following the known procedures to pack up and line up to leave. The teacher has to decide for themselves whether they are going to respond with positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement so that the behavior does not happen again. Positive reinforcement. It is crucial to understand what this means so that teachers can properly use it in their classroom. According to McConnell, positive reinforcement provides an adverse stimulus to a behavior. For example, if I don't want a student to do something, I would provide something else so that they don't continue that behavior. In the classroom, this can be delivered by using praise. Praise is very useful in the classroom. Say I don't want student A to be talking, but student B is listening very well. I would give praise to student B so that student A sees that student B is doing what I want. Typically, student A, the one who is talking, would start listening so that they too could receive praise. Next, we need to be fully aware of negative reinforcement. McConnell also states that negative reinforcement takes away a positive stimulus to correct behavior. To provide another classroom example, if students are talking, I would take away their recess so that they stop that behavior. This is a negative way of correcting behavior instead of a positive way, which provides extra stimuli. I have a real-life classroom scenario that I experienced in my own practicum. Practicum is when I go to an elementary school and I observe the classroom so that I can learn how to be a teacher myself. So what happened was that the bell rang to notify the students that it was the end of the day. The students went crazy. They would not listen to the teacher. They wouldn't follow the procedures for the end of the day, and this was probably halfway into the school year, so they definitely knew what the procedures were. So because of this misbehavior, the teacher had to decide whether she wanted to use positive or negative reinforcement. But if she were to use positive reinforcement, she would add recess to the students that were acting desirably. But if she used negative reinforcement, she would take away recess from those who were not acting desirably. In the end, she decided to give positive reinforcement. So the students that did listen and that did pack up at the end of the day and did follow procedures got to go to recess early the next day. To conclude, negative and positive reinforcement are two different ways in which a person can correct other people's behavior. With negative reinforcement, stimuli are taken away to stop an undesirable behavior. But with positive reinforcement, stimuli is given to continue a desired behavior. It is important for teachers to understand and to determine what kind of reinforcement will be used in their classroom so that they can establish their class environment. What kind of reinforcement would you use? Negative or positive? Would you encourage positive behavior or punish undesired behavior? In addition, What do you think is best for our students? Those who are younger than us and deserve a good education. Will a negative or positive environment impact them the most? These are all questions that must be decided when establishing a classroom environment. Thank you.